Warrior, welcome. This is day 24 of our 31 days of advocacy. January is National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month. I want to speak to you about demand. We don't talk about it enough. End demand, work on demand, discuss demand. What am I even talking about? We could make a big dent in sex trafficking if we worked on ending the demand. It is simply supply and demand. If we held accountable those who cause harm, those who buy sex, those who solicit sex, those who create CSAM, child sexual abuse material, all of that, if we could really dig in there and begin to end that, then demand would drop. It's a very simple thing. Not that any of this is simple. But my hope is that we would talk more about this in 2025 because figures are exploding and escalating. My greatest fear is that all of this trafficking, slavery, remember, we at the Warriors have rebranded it. Slavery is a much more descriptive word, the enslavement of people. People can understand what that means, right? You think of the visual when you hear that word. Demand. People have become normalized to hearing all of this discussion, habituated, right? Therefore, when they hear about it again, they just close their eyes, tune out. But we have to hold those responsible who cause harms, pimps, traffickers, criminals, including cartel members. One of their main businesses, actually their main business, is the trafficking of people, which is the enslavement of people, of drugs, of weapons. So we have that going on. Another thing during this month I don't hear a lot of talk about is actually forced labor, labor trafficking, labor enslavement. Think about this. Think about what products are made from enslavement labor. Think about this. Think about foods. Think about clothing you're wearing. Certainly there are not enough studies that even jump into this to see who is creating these products. The only thing that seems to make a difference in all of this advocacy and all of this work, the mission of the Warriors, when we talk about the dollar, people will ask me routinely, why is there such a problem with this slavery? Why is this happening? Why is this escalating? Very simple. It makes a lot of money. A lot of money, right? Much easier to traffic, to enslave a child, a teen, than deal with drugs and create and package and borders and this and that, distribute. How can that be? We're talking about human life. If we did more research, and I'm going to be digging much more into this, what goes into products, and then we had campaigns where we didn't use those products, or we just drew awareness to this. Why, after all, I just posted an article today, Lynn's Warriors, about Purdue chicken. And it was posted on January 15th, and I'm just hearing about it because I didn't hear anything in the news, mainstream media. We like at the Warriors, just so you know, to sample a little bit of everything because I can't do my job unless I know what mainstream media is talking about, different online sites. I mean, it is a 24/7 job. You need to hear what people are saying, right? In this sampling, I didn't hear anything about Purdue chicken settling with the government because they, child labor, we don't talk about that. Hundreds of thousands of children came over the border unaccompanied. We know the Biden administration themselves admitted to losing. One report was 85,000. That was the first one. Well, we just can't get in touch with them. The next report was 320,000. So for me, that's, do the math, very simple, over 400,000. When we know it's in excess of 500,000. That's the last figure. So where are these kids? These kids undoubtedly are working in places like Purdue Chicken, car manufacturers, lumber yards, construction jobs, and we also have American kids. Because last year, 14 different states lowered the labor restrictions for children. So children as young as 14 can work in a bar. Did you hear what I just said? So why aren't we talking more about this? That children as young as 14 can work until 11 o'clock at night. Now, this is in certain states. I'm giving you some examples. When I questioned a child working in a bar, because let's face it, people perhaps can be overserved and things happen, I was told, who's looking out for that child? Well, that child is allowed to serve the food in a bar. But you know, and I know, there is no oversight in the middle of perhaps some rural area. So these are the issues. We know about sex trafficking, the enslavement, right? The force, the coercion. We do not talk enough about the labor trafficking, and I'm talking here in the United States. I am talking about whether it's children that came over the border, whether it's our children. I'm talking about all people. Let's start talking about that. Let's start looking at the products. Who's making the clothes? Where are these beauty products? What's going into that? And pressure. If we come together as a group, because remember at the Warriors, our hashtag is community creates change. And we as a group put pressure, things will change. Just like Purdue Chicken stepping up and being fined, they had to pay several $1 million out and monies to these child victims. I'm urging all of you, so go to our X account and look at this article because it was hidden. I mean, I heard nothing about it. I want all of you to consider doing one thing a day. If that's too much to ask, do one thing a week. That could be sharing our information here at the Warriors. And don't forget to subscribe, because I am getting a little tired of people telling me they did subscribe and then they're unsubscribed. Sign up for our newsletter. Go to lynswarriors.org. Scroll down right there, e-newsletter. A new one will be going out top of the week, so you have time to sign up. Also, make sure to hit the little bell here. You can become a member for a slight fee, $2.99 a month. It is most important, I leave you with, if you have a child or a grandchild or a family member, that you talk to them open and honestly about all of these issues, about devices, ask them, what are you learning in school? Find out what the curriculum is. Take interest. Be there. Listen. Kids are smart and savvy. We need to form these partnerships. It's not us versus them. It is now a partnership. It's 2025. It is truly time for all of us to take action and do something. And we can all and must all do something. Our precious children, our future adults and leaders of the United States of America. So join me. Community creates change. Write to me if need be. Ask any questions, Lynn at lynswarriors.org. Look at our interviews. We have expert guests. Just did an interview with my colleague Cece Woods, who's out in LA with these fires going on. Undoubtedly learn so that you can talk to your child, age appropriate, about these things, because they're seeing them on their devices, on their phones, on their laptops, Chromebooks, right? They're hearing things. So let you be the leader. Let you share facts, again, age appropriate, to reassure them they're safe and fine with you. Don't let their little minds wander because they heard something on the playground. Community does indeed create change. Please join us. Each and every day when you wake up, go out and be a warrior.